Putin, echoing his familiar refrain that his country is facing a treacherous Western campaign to hold it back, said he had no doubt that the IOC's decision was absolutely orchestrated and politically motivated. Russia will continue moving forwards, and nobody will ever be able to stop this forward movement, Putin said. Konstantin Kozakiov, head of the upper house of Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee, had been among the first to cast the move as part of a Western plot against Russia, which sees sport as a barometer of geopolitical influence. They are targeting our national honor, our reputation, and our interests. They, the West, bought out the traitors, and orchestrated media hysteria, Kozakiov wrote on social media. The IOC ruling is also seen by many in Russia as a personal affront to Putin, who was re-elected president in 2012 after spending 4 years as prime minister because the constitution barred him from a third consecutive term as head of state. The sport-loving leader cast his hosting of the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics, at which the IOC says there was unprecedented systematic manipulation of the anti-doping system, as a symbol of Russia's success under his rule. But Putin has often extracted political benefit from crises, and turned international setbacks into domestic triumphs, by accusing the West of gunning for Russia and using this to inspire Russians to unite. Outside pressure on Russia, understood as politically motivated and orchestrated from the U.S., leads to more national cohesion, Dmitry Trenin, director of the Carnegie Moscow Center, said on Wednesday. Various sanctions are being turned into instruments of nation building. But casting the IOC ban as a Western plot to hurt Russia, something he did when Russian athletes were banned from last year's Summer Olympics in Rio over doping, could help him mobilize the electorate. There were early signs that fury over the IOC's decision was duly stirring patriotic fervor. Without Russia, he said, the Olympics would not be valid. He linked the decision to a Western anti-Russian campaign which many Russians believe took hold after Russia annexed the Crimea Peninsula from Ukraine in 2014. Choosing between the people in Crimea, who wept when the Russian flag was run up and who were doomed to genocide, and sports people taking first place on the podium, I choose the people who couldn't defend themselves, Kudryashov said. We soak it up and survive when at the start of the year it seemed there was a window to repair relations with the West after the election of U.S. President Donald Trump, who said he wanted better ties, the narrative of Russia versus the world was muted. Sources close to the Russian government say the IOC ban, along with continued Western sanctions over Ukraine and the prospect of new sanctions, will help the authorities rally voters around the banner of national unity which Putin embodies. Outside pressure just makes us stronger, said one such source who declined to be named because he is not authorized to speak to the media. Maria Zakharova, a spokeswoman for the Foreign Ministry, set the tone on social media in comments that found ready support from many Russians.